I'm trying to find some Crockpot recipes that don't suck, so come check this one out and see if it turns out. When I was really new to cooking, I thought my Crockpot was the greatest invention. I didn't hardly have to do anything, and I had supper on the table at the end of the day. But as I got more capable of actually cooking, I became increasingly dissatisfied with the flavor of Crockpot meals. There wasn't a lot of flavor, and then when I got my Instant Pot, I pretty much gave up on my Crockpot. When I make a stew in the Instant Pot, the carrots come out tasting like carrots and celery tastes like celery. If I make stew in a Crockpot, it all just kind of tastes like mushy onions. I don't know. Maybe you have better recipes than I do, but I just don't like the way food tastes when it comes out of the Crockpot. So was pretty much resigned to donating it to my thrift store, but I had a conversation with a friend recently who made me reconsider, maybe there's something to the slow cooker. I'm going to give it one last try before I actually get rid of it. I'm going to try a few meals. I've got a bunch bookmarked in my recipe book. I'm going to give this one last go and we'll see how it turns out. So today I'm making something called Crock Stroganoff. I feel like it should be an easy win. You kind of have a hard time going wrong with my family if you have beef and a copious amount of mushrooms, sauce, and noodles. So it should be good. And if it's not, I don't know. Crockpot's fault, not mine. Okay, so let's get started. My meat is round steak, 2 pounds of it. I picked it up at Superstore last time I was there, and it was on sale, so that was great. I sliced it up, put it in the freezer, and then I pulled it out 2 days ago, so it would have time to thaw for today. So I'm gonna dredge it in some flour and salt and pepper, and then I'm gonna lay that into the crock pot when I'm done. Just give it a mix. Just work with a handful of meat at a time here. So the point of dredging meat in flour is that it's going to thicken up your sauce. As it cooks, the flour is a thickening agent, and so the broth that we're going to add is going to combine with this flour and give us a nice thickened sauce at the end. I guess I should have taken the lid off my pot. It's not enough flour. Okay, I'll have to wash my scoop here after, I guess. Get my beef hands all over it. All right, this is good. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Okay, I've got my beef in the crock pot. Next step is a sliced onion on top. So we'll slice this up. I'm gonna actually dice it, I think, so that it's more manageable sized pieces when it's all done. Okay, so this goes on top of the beef. And then I think the recipe called for 2 cups of mushrooms. I don't know what that means when I'm in the grocery store, like how many grams. I'm buying them by the grams. They have them in a big package. But I also know that my family really likes mushrooms. And so I got a pound. This is probably gonna be like 4 cups of mushrooms by the time I'm done chopping them. Nobody's gonna complain. It's gonna be great. So I'm just gonna give these a pretty thick slice. And I don't usually wash my mushrooms. I usually try to wipe them off. Man, my eyes are stinging from those onions. Okay. Anyway, I don't usually wash my mushrooms because they're like little sponges. And if I only use a few at a time, I'll wipe them off with a paper towel to get the dirt off. Because I don't want them ballooning up from all that water. But these were really dirty, so I did give them a rinse, and I have them like sitting on a paper towel in here to dry them off. Plus they're gonna be sitting in the slow cooker all day. So yeah, they're gonna be absorbing some liquid, so I'm not too worried about washing them off today. Okay, this board's getting full. Mushrooms are done. It's getting really full already. And now I just need my cooking liquid. So I'm gonna get my kettle because I heated the water. And I'm gonna make some space here. Okay, so I need 2 cups of water, and I'm gonna make it hot because I'm not using beef broth. I'm making it myself from the Better Than bouillon, and I find that it works way better if you mix it into hot water. So I need about 2 teaspoons of Better Than bouillon, and then a teaspoon of Worcestershire. Say it fast and say it confidently. And then a teaspoon of Marmite. So I used to think this stuff was nasty, and you're still not gonna find me putting it on a piece of toast or anything, but when we put it in beef dishes like this, like something with a really deep beefy flavor, it is so good. It adds such a depth of flavor that you shouldn't knock it till you try it. So the recipe didn't call for that. That's my addition. And I'm gonna try to work that all in there. The Marmite's really sticky, so that's kind of sitting in a ball down there, but that's okay. It'll melt eventually. So I'm gonna pour this in. It's a big glob on top. Put on the lid, turn it on low. I'll see you in 8 hours. It's a little on the soupy side. I would rather it be thicker. I don't know if there's anything I can do to change that now. I would normally make another like flour slurry, maybe cornstarch. Maybe I should do cornstarch. I'm gonna do that. So my egg noodles are done cooking. I've got a pot of peas that I've cooked here. I'm just gonna make sure these are done. Yeah. I'm gonna get these drained, and then I'll come back and deal with this. I guess I should turn that off. And I like adding oil to my noodles just to keep them from sticking together. Okay, I'll get those out of my way. My peas are done. I think I might have said that I was gonna cook broccoli with this, but the pot that I would normally cook my broccoli in was dirty and I didn't feel like washing it, so peas it is. And I left this alone for 8 hours. I stirred in 1 cup of sour cream. It's kind of soupy, so now I think I'm gonna add this cornstarch slurry. I'm gonna crank this back up and see if I can't get it to thicken up a little bit. I feel like it should be thicker. Once it goes on the noodles, it's just gonna spread all over the plate, and that's not really what I want. It smells great. Everybody's been saying how good supper smells, so I hope that they like it. Use this. I think I'll just let it sit. I'll take this out. I'll let it sit on high for a few minutes while I get everybody to the table and see if this will thicken up. Well, I wish I could say that was a win. Kind of wasn't. Some of the kids liked it. Most of us were just kind of take it or leave it. Clay gave it a 4 out of 10. So I would say that's not a win. It was really lacking flavor. The meat was a decent texture. So was the mushrooms, but they didn't have any flavor. And I feel like after cooking all day, something should taste really good. It smelled good, but it didn't taste good. And that's kind of what I find slow cooker meals to be like. Honestly, that's confirming my suspicion that I don't like slow cooker meals, but I've got more on the calendar for the next month. I planned out my meals for the month. And so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do 1 a week and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll find a winner. With this stroganoff, I realized in hindsight, usually a stroganoff has some Dijon mustard in the sauce. And when we added some to what we had on our plate, that really helped boost the flavor, and just more salt was a big help. But even I feel like the mushrooms didn't taste like mushrooms. And so I think I could get a better result by cooking it in my Instant Pot, to be honest, or just doing it stovetop. The slow cooker wasn't a winner for me, and I don't think I would make this again. Even with modifications, I don't think I'd make it in the slow cooker again. Thanks for joining us today. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to see more content like this. If you want to see more failing recipes. And I'll see you again next time. Bye.